Time for Money Watch at 8:18 this morning, and today's topic, money for college. As you get your tax information together, it's also a very good time to focus on scholarships and loans for your child's college education. Our financial contributor, Ray Martin, is here with some advice on how to get through the process. Good morning, and some shortcuts.
Hey, good morning, Maggie.
But we should say that even though they may be shortcuts, they're not silver bullets. The things that you're going to tell us to do today are not magically going to qualify us for free money from the government.
That's right. These aren't strategies that will suddenly get you all the scholarship money or grants or free money for college and $50,000 to pay for your kids' college. It's not going to happen. But there are some financial moves you need to make now before you file the financial aid application or FAFSA form that could increase the amount of federal loans, subsidized and others, and work-study programs for your student. But you got to make these moves now before you file the application.
All right, tip number one, get this FAFSA, F-A-F-S-A, financial aid application form in as soon as possible. Yeah, why? Is it first come, first serve?
It is. Financial aid administrators, to follow a process to be fair, administer the aid on a first-come, first-served basis. So those that file the form first get it considered, and then the aid is administered. And there's only, like, last year, $168 billion in aid, which sounds like a lot, but it's distributed over the whole country. And the deadline is June 30th to file the free application for federal student aid or FAFSA form. But you want to get it done earlier. The sooner the better, and get it done. So you should be getting this done like now.
Today.
Yeah.
And here's something a lot of people may not realize. If somebody has excess savings, extra money in the bank other than their just emergency fund, this could affect them negatively when it comes to financial aid, right?
That's correct. You want to keep your emergency fund, but excess savings are counted towards the expected family contribution, which can lower the amount of financial aid your student could apply for. So you want to try to use some good financial planning strategies to lower your savings and do some other things.
Okay, so if you have that excess money, other than your emergency fund,
correct.
Pay off a credit card?
Pay off your credit card debt. Pay down your credit card debt. Pay off some of your mortgage.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do things like fund an IRA. You can buy your student their car and their computer. Those things aren't looked at for the financial aid process, but excess savings is counted. So if you can reduce that savings by doing good financial planning,
you'll qualify
pay down
for
debt
more.
and save for retirement, and buy the car now. Before you file the aid application, you'll qualify for more.
All right, next. Ray says that keeping money in a bank account, in a brokerage account, any place in your child's name is not a good idea. Why?
The money titled in your student's name is treated especially harshly for financial aid purposes. And about 30% is required to be used towards a family contribution. So you want to get that money out of the student's name where you can.
So what should we do with that money instead?
One great strategy is to move that money to a 529 plan account where the parent is the account owner, the child is the beneficiary. Then it's treated as a parent's assets. Only about 6% is expected to be used.
A lot of people don't know what a 529 is.
An education savings plan account that most states sponsored. Even better, have the 529 plan account owned by a grandparent with the student as a beneficiary, and none of it is looked at for financial aid purposes.
Okay.
It's a great strategy.
Also, if we get our taxes done immediately, how will this help us when we apply for financial aid?
When you fill out the financial aid application, you should use exact figures from your 2009 federal tax return for figures for taxable income and for tax liability. If you don't have your tax return done and you estimate those figures and you estimate too high for taxable income, you could get less aid. So I tell people, do your tax return this Saturday morning, have another cup of coffee, then do your financial aid application right there. So get those taxes done
I was going to say do your taxes Saturday, do your financial aid Sunday, but you say do it in the same day, do it all quick.
Then you'll have your tax return right there. When you fill out, you just go to fafsa.ed.gov to fill out the financial aid application. You'll have your tax return right there handy to fill out the figures.
All right, great. So we've talked about what we can do this year to apply for financial aid. Is there anything that we can start doing to think ahead if we're planning to apply next year for financial aid?
Yeah, when you go through the financial aid process now and you say, oh, that's all we get, there are some things you can do this year that can increase the amount of financial aid for next year's application, like strategies to minimize your taxable income, maximize things like maximizing 401k contribution, don't exercise stock options that are in the money, or don't sell investments that have a taxable gain to you, or don't take retirement plan distributions, those kind of things. The other thing is get student money out of your student's name. Use that money first for this year's college tuition, or if you're going to give gifts to your student, hold off on those gifts until after graduation and give them money when they graduate, or use it to help them pay off their student loans then.
All right, so much good information. Thank you, Ray.